And then I was like, you'd be amazed at what I can fit in my mouth. Hello, and welcome to Downright Fierce Gaming E3 Edition. It's here, guys. Look, it's behind us. We're here at E3. It's madness and crazy. No, that's an image. That's just an image. We're a video game podcast. Talk about video games. This week we're going to talk a lot about E3. Today I am. My name is Josh Asensio. Today I am joined by
Tristan Haynes
and
Christopher Donald Stanton. What's up, jabronis?
Donnie. All right. Look at how much news I have. There's so much news, so much, and we're gonna show you clips, and it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. First, let's get the non-E3 news out of the way. PlayStation VR has surpassed 1 million units sold worldwide. Hails yeah! Now, here's the thing about that. There are lots of VR units. You know, there's two other ones. There's the Oculus. Two other main ones. There's the Oculus and then there's the Vive. Now, neither the Oculus nor the Vive have announced that they have surpassed 1 million sold. I guarantee you they would if they did. So it's safe to assume that this is the first VR unit that has gone past 1 million. It's a huge success for PlayStation, and they're even surprised. They didn't think that it was going to sell that well. Every time they get more units on the market, it sells out immediately. Amazon sells out immediately. Anytime they get in the stores, sells out immediately. And they released some numbers for that. They said the Sony has confirmed that over 5 million PSVR games have been sold. And now here's the weird part. I don't think this is good news. The average playtime, you want to guess how long it is? Don't look.
I just looked at it.
You just looked at it? Okay. Yeah. Donnie, did you look at it?
No.
Okay. How long do you think the average playtime is?
Half hour.
Pretty much. 25 minutes.
Oh, wow.
25 minutes. So here's the thing. Nobody's really complaining about the fact that they have a PSVR. Nobody's saying, hey, I wasted all my money. The thing is, a lot of the games that are being released are experiences. And it's kind of hard. And now that's average. So that's to say that, you know, there are people spending hours and there's some people just go in there for 5 minutes. We haven't really seen too many... You know, I mean, we have Resident Evil and then we have the new Farpoint game. So we haven't seen too many games that, you know, keep you immersed because, I mean, I'm a PSVR owner and it's kind of a pain in the ass to set it up. You have to get the camera right. You have to, you know, put this big helmet over your head. You have to wipe down the goggles. You have to calibrate. And then you're finally, okay, am I going to stand? Am I going to set up where am I going to have my controllers? You have to do all these things. It takes like about 10 to 15 minutes to get ready and sit down and play a game. And then you're finally there and now you're sweaty and you're kind of done by the time you start. So, you know, if they had a game that, you know, really, you know, pulled you in, like Resident Evil, every time I played that game I was excited and terrified to start, but I would be in there for at least an hour. So I think they need more, you know, experiences like that.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Also, speaking of VR, Vince Gilligan, you know who that is? Yep, he's the creator of Breaking Bad. He has fallen in love with PlayStation VR, specifically PlayStation VR. In fact, Sony brought in 7 high-profile showrunners to its campus, and Vince was one of them. He says, I really want to do something with this. I want to experiment with this. So they started working together, and now they're Sony's video game division. They're working closely with Gilligan, and they're going to make a Breaking Bad experience. Now, even though it's going to be based on the show, it's not going to be live action, which thank God, because live action in VR is like the 3D videos they're okay, but it's not the same as you know, computer generated stuff. So it is going to be computer generated instead of live action, but I still think that's pretty cool.
Probably making meth.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, like kind of like Job Simulator, but you're just, you know,
making meth,
and then you have to go for the high score of purity. That'd be cool. We're just gonna keep pushing through all these. Bethesda, developer behind the Elder Scrolls and Fallout series, says it's making a bleeding edge AAA freemium game. I hate that word, freemium, because you know what that implies: microtransactions and pay to win. So Bethesda's going to have his conference tonight, actually at midnight Eastern Standard Time. So I mean, we're going to find out tonight exactly what that means. But what do you think that could be? Because I mean, they just came out with the Morrowind game, right? That was still Bethesda. Well, the re-release or the expansion or whatever it was. I think it's going to be in space. I don't know. I could see them going into space.
Have they said it's a new IP?
I don't think so. But I mean, I don't know. That's a good question.
My guess would be something with Fallout. Just I don't know why that pops in my head.
Oh my God.
Like-
What if it was a MMO Fallout game?
Yeah, something like that.
I would play the crap out of that. Oh my God. Oh, you just made my dick move a little bit.
It's all right.
Not just because you look like Negan, but it's because I really like Fallout. I really like Fallout. Another thing, Death Stranding will not be shown off at E3 this year, which is good because it's not going to come out until like 2020, 2021. Like, they just got the game engine. All they've been doing is they've been making these little, shorts that make no sense at all. On Twitter, Hideo Kojima has apologized that development has taken priority over any new footage, which I don't think you should really apologize for that.
Right.
It's like, no. Work on your game, bro. We don't need these weird crab movies, which I have a theory. Okay, this is weird. Have you guys seen, I probably should have prepped you with this. Have you seen, it was this old Flash short animated thing with Metal Gear Solid 3 and the crab battle?
No.
No? Okay, you at home, look it up after this. It's Snake fighting crabs. It's like, crab battle! And the first trailer that they showed for this game was a bunch of dead crabs. So I'm thinking, I don't know.
And it's a Easter egg.
I think it might be. I don't know. This is a funny video. But yeah, seriously, work on the game. We don't care. I mean, we care about the trailers, but still work on the game. He did release a new poster featuring the game title, a star-shaped... Let's see, where is it? There it is. It is a star-shaped spiderweb and the word bridges, which is what was written on Guillermo del Toro's character badge and the game's second trailer. So... nobody knows what that means.
Mystery.
It like, none of anything he releases about this game makes sense. It's a new thing, and it's gonna have people wandering. But I'd not guarantee you, but we're probably not gonna understand it until the game comes out, and we're probably still not gonna understand it. It's gonna be some weird Hideo Kojima spaghetti thing. You hear about his Twitter with that? Like,
No.
he got super obsessed with like spaghetti, and he wants to imagine how Norman Reedus's character would order spaghetti, and that's what they're focused on right now. He's a weird dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's a weird dude. Anyways, moving on to another page in this. I'm just gonna throw that on the ground. There that goes. You live there. Now, have you guys heard of Bugsy?
Yep.
You have.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Long time ago.
I forgot to pull up the image, so it doesn't matter anyways for the audio listeners. And it's funny because I also didn't expect anybody to remember Bugsy. So my segue is, well, it doesn't matter because we're getting a sequel called Bugsy, The Woolies Strike Back in fall of 2017 this year. So for those of you who don't know, it was a side-scrolling platformer that came out in the 90s. The last game was made in 1996 for the PlayStation, and it was a god-awful 3D version of the game. Now, this is going to be 3D, but it's going to be a side-scrolling platformer, which is awesome because I feel like we need more games like this. Mm-hmm. Just the simple, easy to consume. I don't need some amazing story, just a nice little platformer. And that sounds like exactly what they're giving us.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Chugging along. This is good. Mm-hmm. This is probably still going to be a long episode, but we'll see. All right, speaking of bringing old franchises back to life, Konami is discussing whether or not to bring Castlevania to Nintendo Switch. So there's no announcement at all, but in an interview with brand manager Richard Jones, he said Castlevania is getting its own show on Netflix, and because of that, we are hearing a lot of desires from our fans for a new Castlevania series. So we do know, and this is still part of the quote, so we do know there is a demand for a new game, but right now nothing is set in stone as the discussions are still ongoing, which I think this is just a whole bunch of, hey, how do we not fuck this up?
Yeah, I mean they need to take the Bugsy philosophy and do a really cool 3D side scroller.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, of course, some fancy, Event Horizon Dawn, some fancy one like that in the Castlevania storyline would be amazing, but honestly, if you don't want to mess it up and you want to make the original fans happy, exactly, give it the Bugsy treatment. Yeah. You don't need to go complicated with that one. Moving on to other stuff as I mess up chat. Shenmue 3! This game's gonna suck. I know this game's gonna suck. Does anybody want to make a pizza bet that this game's gonna suck?
Didn't the first one suck?
No,
the first two
they're awesome.
were well received. I mean, did they get good scores? Were they critically okay? So it's not just the nostalgic things. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, at the time, I don't think it was so ahead of its time. Like,
Yeah.
so ahead of its time.
So nobody wants to make a bet that it's gonna suck.
I'll bet that it's gonna be good.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's gonna suck.
Yeah, I'll make a pizza bet.
Pizza bet. All right, we have a pizza bet.
It's gonna get over 8.0s.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I was even gonna draw it at 7, but you said 8. So yeah, cool. All right.
I mean, if it comes out.
No, it's definitely coming out. But well, here's the issue, and I probably should have read you this news story before we made this bet. Maybe it's a little unfair. It was originally scheduled to release December 2017, but it's been delayed to the second half of 2018. So this is not a surprise necessarily, because they already said that the game is not going to. It's not going to be at E3 this year. So anytime they say that and the game's that close to release, something happened. Something's wrong. Now, creator and project director Yu Suzuki said that by utilizing new technologies, we have been able to discover something on this next page. New possibilities and expressions. In many ways, the game has become bigger and more beautiful. That's what she said. Just the bigger and beautiful part that I initially expected. We do, however, need more time to deliver the game to you. So this is exactly what happened to Duke Nukem. This is exactly what happened to The Last Guardian. And I think that this shows that this game is going to be garbage. What do you think? Good talk.
No, I don't think it's going to be garbage. I think I have faith. The first two were so ahead of their time, and they were fantastic, wonderful storytelling.
But I mean, he's trying too much to put too many things into this. Like new technology is going to come out when you've been working on a game for so long, and that's what he's saying. It's like, hey, look, we learned new stuff. We can make it prettier. We can do all this, really cool stuff. Just you gotta just.
But it could be something as simple as like facial animations, like these new. He even says expressions. So like, if there's a way to, maybe what they were working with was like Mass Effect Andromeda level of facial animations, and they're like, hey, we figured out a way to do Uncharted level of facial animations.
Okay, I mean,
it could be something that simple. It could be like, like they completely redid Gollum halfway through the production of Two Towers. So like,
the movie or the game.
The movie, but seriously,
it could have been possible for both.
Like they completely redid him from scratch, and like he ended up being mind blowing. So I'm not worried about it. Yu Suzuki's the man.
What do you think?
4K forklifts is all I can think of.
Yeah, 4K forklifts.
Yeah.
You didn't play Shenmue?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah. Anybody who played Shenmue knows about forklifts.
Okay, well, I wish you guys were on last week because we talked about it and none of us knew anything about Shenmue.
Good stuff.
So moving on to Square Enix, still looking to sell the Hitman series. However, they have announced that they are moving away from the episodic sales structure and moving towards full release. This includes the latest Hitman, which will now will have to be bought as a single game. And this is another weird thing. If you bought like 2 episodes of the game, the only way to play it is you can't just play those 2 episodes. You're going to have to pay more for the rest of the episodes, or just kind of lose your game. It was something like that. It was like a forced buying thing. And yeah. If you're wondering why I'm making weird faces in chat, it's because, again, this week my phone's messing up. Anywho,
Episodic worked really well for Hitman. It's a shame that they're moving away from it.
well, I mean, it did and it didn't. The people that played it and the critics said it was fantastic and it was perfect, but it didn't sell that well. That's the problem.
I thought it did all right. It just, Square Enix has really unrealistic ideas for what they want games to sell. Like, they thought the Tomb Raider reboot was a failure.
Gotcha. Oh, well, wasn't that also? Oh, yeah, that's right. If it didn't meet a certain number, no, it was Final Fantasy that if that didn't meet a certain number, they would be a failure.
Well, also with Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
That was a huge success, and they didn't think it was good enough.
I gotcha. I'm gonna borrow your phone, Chris.
Okay, sorry about the cracked screen.
No, you're good. I don't mind crack.
I don't mind crack.
I don't know. I got nothing. Everything's falling apart. Everything's breaking. Moving on to Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are releasing Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for the 3DS. I'm pissed about this. Very selfishly so. Very selfishly. But I am very pissed because this week, I just bought Pokemon Sun. Just bought it. And now they're like, hey, now there's going to be Pokemon Ultra Sun, which has even more Pokemon and different versions of Pokemon, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to sell for the exact same price. So if I don't know. I'm really upset about that. Now there was an accidental posting that it was going to be on Switch. The listing said that it was going to be on Switch and that the date was to be announced. But Nintendo squashed that. They said nope. It's coming exclusively to the Nintendo 3DS family of systems and is not due for a release on the Nintendo Switch. Not coming to Switch.
Because they don't want to release games for the Switch.
Well, no, they want to separate. They want to separate 3DS releases from.
I'm just making a joke. That's all.
Well, I'm just trying to inform our listeners.
Yeah, I know.
That's it. Good joke.
They don't like making content for the Switch.
They don't
At all.
You're right.
Monster
You heard it here first.
Here's your Rayman Legends.
No, it's the Rayman. It was the Mario Rabbids thing.
Yeah, that's another.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah. What else? You know what is coming to Switch? That's what I wrote as a segue. Pokken Tournament DX coming to Switch September 22nd. Now, do either of you know what Pokken is?
No.
No? Okay. I got somewhat of an idea. It's like a fighting game with Pokemon, but it's kind of like Soul Calibur kind of arena, and you fight with the Pokemon. Now, this is getting the deluxe treatment, kind of like Mario Kart did.
Oh.
Which, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. The new version introduces 3v3 team battles, online ranked play, and friend-only group matches. Speaking of the deluxe treatment, I have a theory that I want to throw out for Nintendo's conference. I bet you they announced the deluxe treatment coming to Super Smash Brothers. I bet you. And I'm going to go even further, because with the 3DS version, they had the same cast, but all new stages. I say the Switch version has everything that was ever released for Super Smash Brothers. All the stages that were on the 3DS, all the stages that were on the Wii U, everything that has ever been released for that game into like a Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I want to call that shot.
Rather than them release a new Smash Brothers?
They're not going to release a new Smash Brothers.
Not for a long time.
No. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while because it's going to be
I don't disagree with that.
That seems reasonable. Yeah.
They spent a lot of time on Smash Brothers, so might as well kind of milk it.
That's true. Moving on, now we are going to talk about the EA conference. So, did you guys watch the EA conference?
I saw clips.
Yeah.
Saw clips? Okay, well, we both watched it all?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can talk and we'll just ignore him.
Okay.
Fine.
No, we'll educate you. So, now, I forgot to pull up our predictions thing. I know that there are some points to be awarded.
Okay.
Yours, you mentioned Madden NFL will be shown. Now, I'm going to vote yes. But Tristan, I'm kind of curious to see how you feel about this. The bet was that Madden will be shown at E3. Technically, this was not at E3. This was at the EA conference, which was adjacent to E3. Should we give him the point? It's okay if you want to say no. Like, I'm saying yes just because whatever, but if you want to say no, I think that would be an interesting discussion.
I mean, it's E3 week, so I would say yeah.
Okay. That's how I was feeling too. Okay. You get the point for that. Now, this is weird. Madden is going to have a story mode, a campaign, a single-player story with like this whole. It's a story. Uh-huh. It's a story, and the crazy part is, now if you're watching this live stream or even the video on demand, it's going to be coming up here in a second. You might recognize one of these actors that is about to pop up. While we're waiting for that. The campaign is called Long Shot, and it follows a young football player as he rises through the ranks. This is the first time the series will be using EA's Frostbite engine, which is pretty cool. And I think it comes here. It is. Yep. Do you recognize that dude?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that is. How do you say his name?
I don't remember.
Mahershala Ali from Moonlight and Luke Cage. He's just in everything.
And House of Cards.
Yeah,
House of Cards?
Yeah.
Dude, I went to New York and he's on like every billboard.
Yeah, he's getting very famous.
He's freaking
great
awesome.
actor.
I love his act. I didn't see Moonlight, but I really like Luke Cage. And he's a gorgeous man. So yeah,
I wonder if the gameplay for the football game, like the gameplay for the actual playing the game, will be Frostbite too.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
going to look different, then that's good.
Yeah.
The worst part about it's the person on the cover.
That one basketball game did this the other day.
Which one?
Or not the other day, a couple years ago. I don't play the sports game. I think it was 2K or something. They had like the Spike Lee.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
With like Ghost Michael Jordan or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, the cover, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Why would play it safe, man. Like, play it safe. Why would you go controversial? You're EA. Appeal to everybody. Why would you go with Tom Brady? Like, I give you that he's talented. Yes, he's extremely talented. Probably the best quarterback, you know,
we can
the
say
past
it's
couple of decades.
Probably the best all time. Probably.
Currently, Brett Favre. No, I did a trivia question with this.
You mean statistically?
Statistically,
yeah, but I
Brett
mean,
Favre.
well, okay.
So, you know.
Is a picture of a guy really going to stop you from buying the game?
No, I'm going to... Actually, you know what's funny? I skipped the last two, and I'm probably going to buy this one just because story mode, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Because otherwise, I mean, like, if I want to play Madden, I'll just play the Madden I have. I don't need the updated teams. And in fact, you can download updated rosters. Yeah, so it's not that big of a deal. But this seems cool enough to bring me back in. I think that's what they were thinking, too. But yeah, so the other thing is FIFA 18 will bring back campaign mode. I know nothing about FIFA, so here's just facts about it. They're bringing back The Journey. Alex Hunter returns. I don't know what that means. Switch version will launch on September 29th. I don't care.
Did you hear about the title of that?
What?
It's called FIFA 18 for the Nintendo Switch. Like,
that's the title.
That's the title.
Well, it's different. It's different. And in fact, I have information about that. The Switch version will have the FIFA Ultimate Team, including squad building challenges and both online and offline seasons, career mode and local seasons, career mode, and the local seasons, so like multiplayer, will be playable across 2 Switch consoles. So you can't just bring your Switch console and then do that. Like you have to have two.
Interesting.
It sounds like that. I mean, that's, again, I know nothing about FIFA. I don't know what local seasons means. I don't know. We need somebody from Europe in here. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody who calls it football. I don't know. Anyways, so let's move on to something else. Oh yeah, Need for Speed. Holy cannoli. Oh, look at that.
It does look really good.
It looks so good. Now, here's the thing, though. It looks amazing, but what game does that remind you of? Did you see the gameplay trailer?
It reminds of is it Burnout?
There it is. Yeah. Burnout. It is Burnout meets what is it called? Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I mean, that's cool, I guess. You know, it's not like Burnout owns the crashing into cars and then the slow motion looking at it as it crashes into something else. And this looks better than any Burnout game. And, you know, Criterion's working on Star Wars. You're not going to see another Burnout game for a very long time.
I don't
if
think
ever. Yeah, probably if ever. But that looks cool as hell. Let's see, what do I have on it? It does appear to be in Vegas, not going to be in Seattle, Washington, or just Washington in general, which I mean, that was an easy call, but I still feel like I called that. And it's coming out November 10th. Now, in the gameplay trailer, now they're saying this is gameplay. It looks like it cuts back and forth between cinematic and regular gameplay pretty seamlessly. Yeah. And, you know, we've seen in like Grand Theft Auto and games like that's it's possible. You can do stuff like that and not, not be disorienting and stuff. And it kind of adds to that. So if they can really nail down it doesn't even have to be a good story. I don't even want it to be a good story. I want it to be a fun story.
Yeah.
I want it to be stupid. I want it to be like, family comes first. Yeah. We got to look out for each other and ride together. Like, I want something stupid like that. Make it fun, and this might be the first Need for Speed I ever buy.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like they took like the triggered events of like Call of Duty and put it in a racing game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know what? I don't want to see those QuickTime events. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like keep it cinematic, because QuickTime events just take me out of a game. I don't know. So that looks fun.
Yeah, it looks good.
Battlefield 1 in the Name of the Tsar DLC footage was shown. Now it's going to include new multiplayer maps, vehicles, weapons, and more. It's going to add the Women's Battalion of Death, which will be the first time a female character has been playable in Battlefield. I also just realized I am holding up this pretty high, which is the video game 20 questions thing. So I'm going to stop doing that. Anywho, moving on. Oh, this game I am so excited about. You have no idea. This game looks amazing. Joseph Fares, I don't know, creator of Brothers, A Tale of Two Songs, announced his new game at the EA conference. A Way Out is a forced co-op prison break game. You cannot play it single player, and you can play it online, but you have to match up with a friend. There's no matchmaking. You have to play with somebody. And I actually, after doing a lot of research on this, it's the perfect call. You cannot have online matchmaking because, so let me go through the information. You can either play local co-op or connected online with a friend, but there's no online matchmaking. So I already said that. Probably shouldn't have said that again. Ferris says it's cocky, but the experience is made to be co-op. The story follows Vincent and Leo attempting to break out of prison. At certain points, individual players can choose to take the lead on a forthcoming scene. So, you'll have a scene like this where it's just, it's one shot, and as it's approaching that scene, it could be like, okay, well, we're talking to each other, and we go, okay, well, I'm going to take the lead on this one. Oh, no, dude, let me, because I have a feeling that my character would kind of, no, believe me, mine's more of the authority kind of guy, so I'm going to take the lead. And the scene cannot progress until both players agree. So if you had online matchmaking and you had somebody who just wanted to be the lead on everything, you're not going to get anywhere. It'd be more frustrating. The whole idea of this game is to, maybe argue a little bit, but it's about cooperation, true cooperation. And at certain points of the game after the scene or whatever, the screen will split, allowing players to move around within the confines of a relatively small scenario environment. Each scenario in the game can play out differently based on how you interact with the environment and characters, which suggests different story paths with each playthrough. I mean, it looks so cool.
It does look neat.
Yeah.
It's going to come out set to release early 2018. Now, this is extremely ambitious to run. I'm sure you have to load each area, so having the split screen won't be too much of a problem. But it still looks incredibly ambitious, so I'm thinking it's probably going to get delayed. I don't know. I just have a feeling. We'll see though. Okay. Moving on to NBA Live 18. Something I don't care about. Do you guys care about that?
No.
Not really.
All right, let's just go with the facts then. New mode called The One. Okay. Free demo will release in August, and all progress will carry over into the full game. Cool. That's it. I really don't care about basketball. It's just even to watch or anything like that, just because it's too many points. It's just too many points. Anyways. I'm a video game nerd who doesn't like certain sports. Go figure. Now, guess what we get to talk about?
Battlefront 2.
We get to talk about Battlefront 2! Oh, I can't. I'm going to pull up this footage, and it's going to be so good. I can't see it. Talk, guys.
I want a Jar Jar hero.
What's that?
I want Jar Jar
Yeah,
hero.
that would be kind of neat. Yeah, I thought that I knew it was going to look good, but I did not expect the like when the trailer starts, like, all right, more in-game footage, more pre-rendered cutscenes, and then like once the actual multiplayer gameplay starts, you don't have a video of it, do you?
I forgot to put the video on
That's
there.
all right.
You know what? For the audio, this won't matter. Why don't you guys talk about it, and I'm gonna make this happen.
It looks
Okay.
like Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I was really amazed at how, like, couple things. One, that they, like, just gave away that Naboo is going to be a level. Another thing, yeah, here we go.
I got it. I fixed it.
Yeah, and I also love the fact that, like, one thing I thought was cool was how Battlefront 1 was obviously, like, okay, if you're playing on Hoth, it's got to be the Stormtroopers in these outfits, it's got to be the Rebels in these outfits, it's got to be these heroes, it's got to be this. Well, here, like, Stormtroopers weren't around in the prequels. So, like, you're seeing Stormtroopers fight against, like, the battle droids from, like, 70 years earlier or whatever.
Well, aren't those the clone troopers?
But either way, well,
it's across all three generations. So it could be clone troopers, it could be Empire or whatever.
But even with showing, like, Yoda fighting Darth Maul, like, it's like
cool.
like it, to me, it's giving me the impression of like oh, we're gonna get to see, like, there's Rey in Naboo. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just cool how it's like you're gonna maybe get to see, like.
Well, it's a toy box. It's a toy box.
Well,
Like,
but the other one, the first one was so like, no, it has to be here, and these have to be the vehicles, and
no, not necessarily. I mean, as far as characters go, you had Leia fighting some of, like, the new people. Like they went across.
When they released that with expansions, yeah, but like, that was still, like, relatively within, like it was still Rogue One. Like, Rogue One was still set in the same time as the prequels, or as A New Hope, and you know what I mean? So, like, to me, it was still, when you fought on, like, Endor, it was still like, okay, the rebels have to be in this outfit, this have to be the heroes, you know what I mean? Whereas this seems more like, oh, it's going to be way more, like, cross timelines, which I think is cool.
Well, I mean, and
it's gorgeous.
Oh, it looks amazing. Yeah. So they opened with a video showing how they gave Autocorrect. How they gave elite gamers the opportunity to come to the studio and give feedback to DICE and EA. Why don't more companies do this? That is so smart. They got all these players that put hours and thousands of hours into this game. They're like, hey, since you like that game so much, why don't you come back and just give us feedback on what we're doing, which is awesome. All DLC and additional content. Oh, guys. Oh, it's so free. Oh, it's so free. They're just going to all of it. All of it.
Wow.
Now, they're going to have microtransactions, but hold on, Tristan. They're going to have microtransactions. It is to accelerate progression. Now, that does not mean that it's going to be a pay-to-win. In fact, design director Nicholas I can't say his last name. I have no idea. Says, no one can say I'm going to spend my $1 zillion and then dominate. The progression is just... It's unlocking. It's kind of like the first one. When you would get better weapons, sometimes the first tier weapons you could still destroy with those. Yeah. So it's easier to use weapons maybe a little bit, or something like that. But you're not going to dominate the battlefield with that. Now, Chris, I remember you were talking about how you didn't like in the Battlefront 1 how you couldn't just like hop into a vehicle.
Yeah.
You had to wait for the pop-up. Now, the cool thing about this is they're going to have a point system that you can spend on vehicles, on power-ups, on heroes even, and it's all about how well you're playing. So if you're playing really well, then you earn your vehicle, and you can just, you don't have to spam or wait for the button to pop up or the, whatever to pop up. I think that's pretty cool.
Does it have you actually get in a vehicle this time? Or is it still just...
I think you just teleport, probably. Probably just teleport. Oh, whatever. Okay,
it really bothers me.
So tell you what, if you want the realistic thing, somebody should then just pick you up, and then you have to spend like about an hour driving out to a space station that is, 50 miles away, and then you have to clear it with your commanding officer that you can fly in a certain spaceship, and then go in there, go through all the pre-flight
you don't have to do that in Battlefield, though. In Battlefield, there's helicopters. I know what you're saying. But to me, it takes me out of it. It takes away the strategy of it. If you're sitting there and you're like, oh, man, this is going on over here. I could really use a tank right now. I know there's a tank over there. I'm going to go run into it and then drive over here. Whereas, like, if you see something going on, you're like, oh, there's the X-Wing. Oh, and then you're going to be 2 miles away in the air. You know what I mean? It's it takes it away. But either way, it's still... I wanted to ask you a question. Do you think with all that content, it's going to be more expensive?
No. Not at all.
I wonder if they're going to start because here's the thing: if people paid $60 for just basically strictly essentially a multiplayer experience with limited kind of content in the first one, and now they're going to be getting all of this extra content plus free DLC plus all this stuff in the second one, I wonder when we're going to start seeing companies say okay, the game's $80 now. I mean, it's possible, but at the same time, I feel like they got so much bad will with the gamers in the community saying, okay, so I'm spending $120 for all the content. I feel like they made their money. Yeah. And they're like, you know what? Hey, why don't we just, kind of take a little hit on this? We know it's going to sell really well, especially since it does, especially since it looks so good. The other one was popular, it was well received. And, if we say that, hey, we're giving all this for free, it's almost like we paid for all this stuff already. Well, the people who bought the expansions already paid for this. So it's paid for. Yeah, fair enough.
And the cool thing is you can play as droids. Also, John Boyega, for some reason this was a big deal. He made a brief appearance via video to confirm his character Finn will be playable. Like, of course it is. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't it be?
If Rey's in the game, it's kind of a given.
I don't understand why that was a big deal. We also got to see a full multiplayer demo, 20 versus 20 gameplay, which is what's playing right now. The beta will be available this fall. All right. Whoops. Whoops. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that with the audio. Now we're gonna move on to the Microsoft conference. So before we get into the games, some announcements. The biggest one, project name Scorpio, is dropped. There no longer exists an Xbox Scorpio. It shall now be known as Xbox One X.
The new Nintendo Xbox 3DS.
Yeah.
Switch.
XL.
One X.
And it's going to cost you $500. Called it.
You're right.
So called it. Because the experts were saying that with all the tech, it's going to cost them they should sell it for $599. I'm like, no, they're not going to sell it for that much. They're going to take that $100 hit, and they're just going to put it out there for $499. And also, that's a really stupid name. It's
a really stupid name.
I hate it. And I almost called that last week. I almost said, I didn't want to I tried to call a lot of shots. I don't want to be the guy who's always wrong, but I had a feeling that I was gonna like Scorpio more than whatever title they gave it. I mean, that's hard to say, especially when they have the Xbox One S.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, you're gonna have somebody at Best Buy like, hey, can I get the Xbox One X?
Or like Christmas time,
one?
parents are like, my kids want the Xbox One S.
Oh, you say X?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
What's the difference? One's twice as much. Oh no, I'm getting him the cheap one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't like it. So it's $100 more than a PlayStation 4 Pro. Is it worth that? What do you think? Well, and I'm not even saying like, okay, so tech-wise, yes. Tech-wise, it is worth it. But is it really worth it? Is it really worth it?
I mean, if you're already spending $400, so it's an extra $100.
Yeah, well, that's how they get you. What is that, foot in the door technique?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus having to get a 4K TV. I don't have one.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's no point in buying this if you don't have a 4K TV. I mean, actually, no, that's not true because I bought a PlayStation 4 Pro. Future-proofing, okay, if you already have an Xbox One, there's no point in buying this. If you want to future-proof, then I guess it makes sense. Which is what I did for my PlayStation 4 Pro. My PlayStation 4 broke. I needed to buy a new one. I'm like, might as well buy the Pro. But I don't know. Like, that's really freaking expensive.
To me, I was telling you earlier. I did a little bit of digging today. To me, it's about content. People aren't buying the Xbox now. They just announced that they're dropping for a limited time the price of the S by $50, which is interesting timing. If you look at the top 5, it's about content. I mean, there's brand loyalty to Microsoft, there's brand loyalty to Sony, but what's going to make... Nobody's going to buy an Xbox or this new Xbox because of the new Call of Duty or whatever. True. They're going to buy it because of exclusives. If you look at the top 5 selling Microsoft exclusives versus PS4 exclusives on the Xbox One versus PS4, Sony's almost doubled in sales. It's almost 20 million, whereas Microsoft's is 10 million, just over 10 million. 3 of those 5 games from Microsoft are all Forza. Like they're all Forza titles. They don't have variety. I mean, Sony is just destroying them in the exclusive category. And like, I don't know. They need, which is good that today that they announced so many like brand new IPs.
They did.
But there's nothing for me to buy an Xbox, not for a very long time.
Well, you didn't see the conference, right?
I saw a lot of the footage of stuff.
I'm curious to see if with all these games that I'm gonna show you in the next little while, I wonder if that will make you. I mean, at least maybe not to buy the Xbox One X, but maybe the Xbox One S.
Yeah.
Which one did I say? You don't know.
Right now, like the only appeal, and I've seen some of the footage, but like the only appeal to me is like the streaming thing or the subscription service we talked about. Like if I can get an Xbox One S for $200 or however much it's or $249, and if I can spend like $10 a month to go replay like all the Halo games and all the Gears of War games, like that might be kind of cool. But like,
I agree. I mean that already, like, the whole Xbox gameplay live or whatever it's called, that kind of actually made me want to buy one, and I don't know. That sounds like a really good deal to me.
Yeah.
So real quick about the Xbox One X, CPU is 30% faster than the Xbox One. GPU is 4.6 times more powerful with 6 teraflops. I don't know what that means. Some people know what that means. I don't know what that means. Now, toward the end of the conference, they announced that original Xbox games will become backwards compatible on Xbox One later this year. As with 360 games on Xbox One, the original Xbox games will receive a performance boost when played on new hardware. That's pretty cool, especially since Phantom Dust is on there.
Yeah, for those of you who have classic Xbox games laying around.
No, I mean...
Mech Assault? Did you guys play
Mech Assault, yeah, and then the other one was what was the flying game that's the one that everybody wanted to play.
It was, Crimson Skies.
Crimson Skies, that's it. So yeah, I mean, they actually that of all the things that Microsoft announced, that got the biggest applause, which is so weird because they released statistics showing that like, what was it? I think it was less than half of Xbox owners do backwards compatibility, and the ones that do average about like 2.5 hours of gameplay for these games. So it's like you're not playing it, but you keep asking for it. Like it makes no sense. You want to play it for 5 minutes and go, "Oh yeah, that's right. This is really old. I'm done." That's all it is. Now, I already said that. towards the end of the conference, Microsoft announced 42 new games and that they were showing off, and 22 are going to be new console exclusive games. So I feel like they saw Sony's press conference last year and they're like, okay, so they won.
Mm-hmm.
And
last few years.
Yeah. What we need to do, because they didn't show off that many games, what we need to do is we need to one-up them. So how do we one-up them? We show games just like they did, back-to-back games. But the one thing that Sony did last year was they had all their games TBD. Mm-hmm. Or not TBD, to be announced, TBA. To be announced release dates. Spider-Man might come out 2018, 2019, something like that. It's going to come out eventually. And almost all of the Xbox games are coming out this year.
That's nuts.
I mean, it's pretty freaking amazing, yeah. So let's go through those games. Forza Motorsport 7 will be coming out October 3rd on Xbox One and Windows PC. We saw this coming, of course, not a surprise. It's going to feature more than 700 cars. The game will run at 4K at 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X. God, I hate saying that. Freaking, it's such a stupid name. It's hard to say. Like, you want something that rolls off the tongue. Like Metro 3. I don't know. Metro 3 was announced as Metro Exodus. We got some stuff on that. If I can... There it is. Okay. So, Metro 3 was announced as Metro Exodus. It showed gameplay footage. Now, here's what I hate about these freaking announcements is that they will say, okay, this is, rendered in-game footage, or this is gameplay footage. Okay, clearly, yes, this is gameplay footage. You can tell that this is how the game is going to look, but that's not how it's going to play. And that's deceiving. Like, this is exactly how it's going to look. And it looks great. It looks so cool. It looks awesome, whatever. But that's not how it's going to play. It had all these little things that just, you can't, because it looked very scripted. You can't, program a freaking enemy to do certain things at certain times or have such fluid transitions and all these things. It's just not going to happen. And I hate when they do that. I don't know. That's a thing. Any have you guys played the Metro games?
I played the demo for, I think, Last Light, was it? Not Last Light. First Light?
First Light, I think.
One of those.
Something light.
Yeah. I played it for 10 minutes. It didn't do much for me. I mean, I know it's a graphics thing, but I'm not into it. It looks very generic to me.
Yeah, I mean, I played Redux, I want to say, and I get what they were trying to do. It was very dark and ominous. It's not about fighting a whole bunch of enemies and going nuts and stuff. It was more, kind of building suspense. But it got really boring because the environment's really boring. I don't know. Let's move on to something else. All leaks are confirmed. Assassin's Creed is going to Egypt with Origins. There were so many leaks. It was insane how many leaks there were. It is coming out October 27th for Xbox One and PS4, so it's not an Xbox exclusive. It's going to be in ancient Egypt, and the protagonist is Bayek, an Egyptian sheriff. Or is that Sharif? Or something like that?
Probably Sharif.
Sharif? I don't know what that is. Now, they showed gameplay demo, which looked pretty damn cool. I never thought I'd ever say this about an Assassin's Creed game, but they showed you can control an eagle that flies over and you can scope out an enemy compound or whatever. And then they showed an upgrade system. So they're adding RPG elements to Assassin's Creed. Loot, you can get better weapons, you can probably craft, you can, you get new skills. And I mean, that actually might bring me back to Assassin's Creed.
That would be cool.
And it kind of looks like the gameplay mechanics are different too, even the fighting mechanics. They're moving away from the whole Batman, automatic counter and then, move to attack thing.
It looked kind of cool, but then it's starting to look more like all the other Ubisoft games. They're all sort of beginning to play the same, just, here, we're in this setting now. Yeah.
But I mean, if it works, why mess with it?
Variety is the spice of life.
I don't know, man. They made a whole. I don't know. I got nothing. I was trying to bring it to Mario Party. I'm like, I got nothing. Well, that happened. So PlayerUnknown's Battleground, which is a game I have been watching a lot. When I poop, you better believe that I'm watching PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. This game is so cool. So you're not familiar with this?
I've watched gameplay footage of it. I don't understand. It looks very clunky and broken to me.
It's early access. What about you, Tristan?
Yeah, I've watched people play it. Just battle royale game.
So that's the thing. I kind of I definitely don't want to play this on PC because the speed that they move their items around and they do all that, I'm not that fast. I can't do that. But on a console, I feel like I might be able to pull something off, because I'm much better at console games. But I mean, it looks so much fun. It looks like so much fun to play. They made the announcement that it's going to launch on Xbox One as a console exclusive. So they said launch on Xbox One, which could imply that it might come to other platforms. That'd be pretty cool. It is a massively popular battle royale shooter in early access, and it sold 2 million copies in less than 2 months.
That's fast.
So, I mean, obviously, I think this all started with DayZ. It started with DayZ, and that was so popular. And then you have, all these other, early access games that follow the same mechanics. But this one, I feel like, just does it the best. And the whole grouping up and playing things smart and the, kind of Hunger Games-esque field of, fighting, getting shrunken to shrink with the shrunks. I think it's cool.
I just think it looks like ass. Like that game looks 12 years old.
But all the things you could do in it.
All I see people doing is running around or driving. I've never seen any sort of action at all ever.
You've never?
In any sort of gameplay I've ever seen.
So okay, so
I
that's
see
the
people
thing.
running. It looks like an episode of Walking Dead where there's no zombies.
You've got to watch until the end because, it gets insane. I mean, there'll be a moment where really good players, there'll be 10 people left on the field and then the thing is, compressing. So they're hiding in the grass. They're, hiding in buildings, staking out things. They're doing all this kind of crazy tactics stuff. And it boils down to these last 3 seconds or something. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's really cool. You should watch more.
I'll watch more.
You watch more? What'd you watch for me?
I promise.
Oh, thank you, Donnie. State of Decay 2, a game that I was super excited about, and I'm no longer very excited about, was revealed. Okay, that's not fair. I am less excited. I am still excited, but I am less excited. So it's a game we've been waiting for a long time. It was originally revealed at E3 2016 with a 2017 launch date. Got delayed. Now it's saying spring 2018 for Xbox One and Windows 10. So it had a trailer. And it was pretty awful. The trailer had frame rate drops. A trailer that they edited.
Right.
That they compiled themselves. It wasn't even just continuous gameplay. No, it was a cinematic thing using gameplay, added to it. It had frame rate drops and they're just leave it.
Wow.
It didn't look that good. The graphics aren't that great, which is fine. I don't need good graphics. That's okay. It's all about gameplay. But why would you make a cinematic story thing using in-game engine, leave frame rate drops, and it looked like garbage. It really did. But the old games, the original games, looked like garbage. And State of Decay is one of my favorite games of all time. All time. Have you ever played it?
No.
Oh, have you played it?
I haven't played it. I've heard great things about it, though.
It's so good. It's so good. And the developer even said, we're giving players exactly what they've been asking for, which is multiplayer. That's what we want. We just want multiplayer. It's going to be so good.
With frame rate drops.
And then that's the thing. Now I'm worried because I think it's going to have that. And I don't like that. Also, some game called Dproc what is it? Dproc Galactic. That's coming out. Now, Tristan, you said that this looks fun to you.
Yeah, they're kind of cool.
Oh, what? Okay, well, let me go over the information first. First, it's a first-person shooter from developer Ghost Ship Games. Never heard of them. Based on the footage shown, players will assume control of a group of dwarves who must fend off enemy creatures, including spiders, as they mine for minerals. Release date is set for November 7th. That's basically all we know. It looks too simple. It looks really... I don't know. What looks exciting about this?
I don't know, it just looks kind of silly. And then, at the end of this trailer where they have all the spider aliens coming out of the cave swarming them, that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, but, this looks like a first-person shooter Minecraft game. Like, it looks like they're like, okay, what do the kids like? They like that Lord of the Rings thing. Let's put a bunch of dwarves in there, like little midgets. And then these kids play Minecraft. Let's put mining in there. Mining, yeah, kids like that. I don't know.
It sounds like a good idea. I think it looks way better. It reminds me more of Team Fortress 2, obviously, with like the kind of sort of cel-shaded vibe. I think it looks fun. I would definitely if I saw the demo pop up, I'd be like, oh, that looks cool.
I don't know. Maybe it's the graphics.
It looks just silly enough that it would be a lot of fun with the right people.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Kind of like Mario Party. You know
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not getting that vibe, no.
So moving on, Mojang, which I've been calling them the wrong name, Mojang. Mojang has announced a new update to Minecraft. Minecraft is happening. This summer, they're going to allow players across Switch, Xbox One Mobile, and PC to play together. And they're also adding the super duper graphics pack, which actually looks pretty damn super duper. Like, I got out of Minecraft a long time ago. I'm no longer interested in Minecraft, but looking at the footage and looking at just the lighting alone, it's getting a 4K update, Yeah, 4K. Like, it looks pretty damn cool, and I kind of want to play it again once that update comes out. And now I can play with people on Switch and mobile and all that. Yeah. All right. We're so excited for this. I don't know if you could tell. Yeah, I don't know. Minecraft. Tacoma. That's another word. It's also another game. It has a release date for August 2nd, which is pretty soon. Now, this is from the same developer as Gone Home. Same type of gameplay. It's like a walking simulator. You know how much I love those. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to figure out this story and what happened on the space base thing by looking at holograms that the computer recorded of things that happened in that room, and you kind of piece them together and figure out the story. It looks really, really cool, and it looks like it's probably not going to sell that much, but it's going to be one of those games where people are like, oh, have you played Tacoma? Oh, it's so good. I can't believe you haven't played Tacoma. You should go home and play Tacoma. All right, I will. And then they never do.
Mm-hmm. After they've gone home.
After they've gone home. Like, you guys, you never played, I don't think I asked you this, but you never played Firewatch, did you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Have you played Firewatch?
I have not. I've been meaning to. It's not.
It's gonna be like. Yeah. It's gonna be like. The same thing's gonna happen. You will play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved Gone Home.
Gone Home.
I actually like that type of game.
Yeah, me too. And Firewatch was amazing, and I'm really looking forward to Tacoma. Moving on, Korean developer Pearl Abyss. This is MMORPG Black Desert is coming to Xbox One in early 2018. So it's already on PC, and it received good reviews. 7.0. Pretty cool. I don't have any footage, but. Okay, that's coming to Xbox. All right. Sea of Thieves, though. Oh, Sea of Thieves. Oh, Sea of Thieves. So this, you know what? You want to talk about the killer app? This sounds like it might be the killer app.
It does look fun.
It looks so amazing. So the thing that people were worried about with Sea of Thieves was that it wasn't going to have a story. That it just, because every time they showed it, it was just multiplayer. Like, oh, we're riding around the ship, and in order to control, like in order to. And I sail a ship. There it is. I kept saying pilot. I kept saying drive. In order to sail a ship, you actually have to have teammates, lower the sails and do all that. It's a massive multiplayer game, shared world game. That's what it was called. And everybody has their parts. And even when you do a battle, you have to have somebody load in cannonballs, and then you can fire them and do whatever. So the thing that people were worried about, I'm like, okay, well, where's the story? What am I going to be doing? Okay, we can do this ship and we ride around for like 15 minutes. Okay, cool. Now what? Now we're seeing that you can do little adventures. So they showed off an actual mission, which if you're watching the video, you can see right there. You have to solve a riddle to find a treasure in a cave. So, they show these people, they swim into the ship, and then they get this little, not treasure map, but like a riddle map. And as you solve each riddle, it updates with the next part of the riddle. And eventually they find this, legendary treasure. And it looks so freaking cool. I mean, it looks really awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Any thoughts?
That was exclusive as well, right?
Yeah, this is going to be for Xbox One and Windows 10. Unfortunately, like I said, this is definitely the killer app that would make me buy an Xbox One, or that would make people want to buy an Xbox One. But I have a gaming PC, and this doesn't look like it's that hard to run.
No, not at all.
So I'll probably just buy it on PC. I don't have to buy an Xbox One. But they've been promoting the hell out of this game. Yeah,
it looks good.
It looks like it'll give Rare the ability to show off their charm.
Oh, and that's another thing I forgot to mention. Yeah, that it's Rare.
Yeah, I haven't seen them do anything in them forever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the last game. Do you remember the last game they made?
Last thing I remember is the Viva Pinata series.
And Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, well, I'm pretty excited for it.
Are they handling Killer Instinct too?
No.
They're not anymore?
I don't think they ever were. That's the people that made Dive Kick and stuff. That's Iron Galaxy.
The original Killer Instinct was Rare.
Well, the current one is Iron Galaxy.
Okay, so it's not them? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Cuphead. Actually, we got video of that too.
That looks great.
Cuphead looks really, really cool. September 29th. Got a release date. Amazing. This game. Oh my God. This game has been delayed and delayed and delayed. And people are like, it's never coming out. And it might get the whole Last Guardian treatment where it sucks because of whatever. Or not even, what was the other one? The Mega Man game? Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
Might get the Mighty Number 9 treatment. Or who knows? I mean, it looks really cool. The art style. I mean, that's the thing. As long as that art style stays the same, I mean, it looks so beautiful. The gameplay could be garbage. I don't care. As long as it looks like that the whole time I'm playing, I'm down. For those of you who can't see it, it is a boss battle focused platformer that looks like it's straight out of a 1930s cartoon. And it's coming out on the 29th. Hails. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks really awesome. Crackdown 3. I get a point. I called it. Crackdown 3 has a release date. Had a really awesome trailer with Terry Crews. We saw gameplay, some quick slices and stuff. It's coming out November 7th. Now, I am a little bit disappointed because it's still cell shaded.
Yeah.
And people were talking about, you can use it with the Scorpio. No, it's not the Scorpio anymore. Xbox One X and show off the capabilities of that. That's like what a lot of the people that are in the industry are saying. Like, they should have that as a packaged game. But it's cell shaded. It's why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It looks like Saints Row, like a not as good Saints Row.
That's what I'm saying.
They have that new Agents of Mayhem thing coming out, which is also Saints Row.
But it's also not Saints Row.
No, they confirmed that it's Saints Row.
Wait, it is Saints Row?
Yeah, Johnny Gat is in it now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. All right. Moving on to... Do I have this one on there? I don't think I do.
I don't think you put it on there.
Oh, I think I did. I forgot to put that one on there, too. So I'm going to talk about this while I do stuff. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which is one of these videos right here. Bam, there it is. Okay. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is a new 2.5D fighting game from Arc System Works. So it's kind of like that, like it's drawn to make it look like it's 2D, but it's still 3D. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like South Park. Like South Park is a 2.5D game. So it's going to be multi-platform. Awesome. It's coming out 2018. Awesome. And it looks bonkers.
It does.
I mean, it looks like when you're fighting, it looks like somebody's like, this is straight from the anime, kind of like South Park did. Like it looks so cool. Like they even have the little, they make it look like it's kind of like drawn, not wrong, but you know what I'm saying? Like the little sketch look.
It looks cool.
It looks really amazing. I'm really excited for that.
Super anime.
Like super anime?
Yeah.
What's super anime?
I mean, it just looks like super anime.
Super duper anime?
Yeah.
Super anime. That was incredibly racist. I'm gonna leave that on because that looks so cool. No, I'm not. I got other stuff to talk about. We have so much. Seriously, so much. Life is Strange Before the Storm is coming out. Have you played Life is Strange?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Have you played Life is Strange?
I played like halfway through chapter 2. You
didn't like it? I loved it.
It's boring as hell.
I got to live out my fantasy of being a 13-year-old girl.
It was just so boring.
I always wanted to be.
And
I loved it, man. It's.
I know people have loved it. I was told like, dude, you got to finish it, and
It's one of those you either love it or you hate it ones. I mean, it really is.
I mean, I respected it for it feeling like I'm watching like a CW show, like you know. But I don't watch CW shows except for like Arrow and Flash. I don't watch Pretty Little Liars, so it wasn't into that.
The dialogue was pretty god awful.
Yeah,
it was like some like 60-year-old man trying to, all right, what are the girls saying? Oh yeah, let's go down to the mall and chilizzle for a bizzle. My home dogs. I
just liked rewinding whenever that one girl would get hit in the head with something, just over and over and over.
Nice. So this isn't a sequel. This is something else. That's the weird thing. We don't really.
It was a prequel. It looked like it was Chloe before she had blue hair.
Yeah, I mean it's a prequel, but not even that. This isn't a. I mean, when I say sequel, like, because a sequel could still be a prequel. Like, this is not necessarily a sequel to the game. It's some kind of weird thing. I mean, maybe it's a sequel. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. It says Life is Strange Before the Storm is coming out, and it's not a sequel. I wrote that.
Maybe they mean episodes.
Maybe they mean chronologically.
I'm starting to think that maybe. I don't know. Release date. No, because they're working on both of these games at the same time. That's why. So this is like a separate thing. Release date for the first 3 episodes is August 31st. Now, don't nod. Those are the people that are working on the sequel. They mentioned that it won't be at E3, that makes sense because that'd be kind of weird. Be like showing up to the same party with, the same shirt on. That'd be weird. But yeah. So I think it's 2 different companies, so I think this means that this is like a separate... Company. Oh, it's the same company?
Yeah, and then they have that game Vampire that they've been working on too, coming out.
I'm not familiar with that one. What is that?
You play as a vampire, and you kind of got to choose how to feed and who you want to kill, things like that, and you're constantly being hunted. Looks kind of cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's move on to Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Did you guys play Ori and the something Wars?
Never heard of it.
No?
Heard good things, didn't play it.
Heard good things, yeah. I mean, it got like 9s. It was supposed to be like this really beautiful game or whatever. It was announced with no release date. I know nothing about this game, but the trailer was super sad. Like, awesome. This guy came out on the piano, and he's just like playing the piano, like really sad. And there's this like little wisp that's next to an owl, and the owl's really sad that its feather is in a puddle. And the wisp is like, oh, it's okay, buddy. And the owl's like, no, it's not okay. My feather's in the puddle. That is literally what happened. That's literally what happened.
Can't wait, check it out.
Now, oh man, let's talk about Anthem, y'all. So BioWare announced Anthem at the EA conference, but showed us absolutely nothing. They showed us like some guy in a suit, and then that was it. And it was like 20 seconds long. It was the shortest teaser I've ever seen in my life. And they're like, we're going to show more off on the Xbox conference or whatever. So, we know now that it is an open world third-person RPG coming fall of 2018. Players wear exosuits called javelins with each with different customizable abilities, and they're saying that it's going to be so customizable that you can kind of tailor it to however you want to, play out. Like, you can add, like, you can make your mech super fast with limited shootings and stuff, or you can have a big lumbering guy with a bunch of arsenal stuff. Like, you can customize your mech to however you want to play, or you can just be middle of the road or whatever. Now, not many details were given about the multiplayer, but here's how I'm feeling about this. I feel like they're pulling a Division, because if you look at the gameplay footage, there's no way the game is going to look this good. There's no way. The footage that we're playing right now, they haven't gotten to the fighting part, the adventure part. But there are way too many scripted coincidences that happen. Like, this girl flies down, and she sees this like elephant creature, and it's like tearing apart these other things. And then it looks at her, and she's like, "Oh no, we're gonna save that for another day." And then she flies off. You can't have a giant open world game like that, and just by coincidence, these things work out perfectly. Even if you record over and over and over again trying to get this clip, it's not going to happen. And that's what happened with The Division. So in The Division, when they announced that, like, however many years ago, they're like, all right, and then another thing with this gameplay thing is 2 people playing multiplayer together, and they're talking, and it's all scripted conversations, just like The Division. Like, all right, guys, why don't we check out this building over here, see what kind of loot we can get. All right, man, I'll watch your back. Hey, can you give me some of the, blah, blah. And there's these scripted conversations that don't feel natural at all. That's what's happening with this one. And, with both instances, The Division did not live up to the promises that The Division was showing at E3. Like, it's completely different. The game looked different. The graphics weren't as good. The options that they were saying were going to happen never happened. So I don't know. How do you seeing this footage now? How do you guys feel about that? Am I right?
The scripting, I could see them being able to trigger events like that. Like, I don't have an issue with that as much as I do. Like, this just looks unbelievable. Like, I mean, and I don't mean like unbelievable. I mean the literal version of unbelievable. Like, I
don't think we're there yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, if they were like, this is what this game looks like on the, Too Fast, Too Furious Xbox One X Wimbledon, then yeah, I'd be like, oh wow, that's really.
Well, no, that is what they're saying.
Okay, so
that this is how it's gonna look on the Xbox One X.
So this is what I'm confused about. So is this gonna be playable on the Xbox One S?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just gonna run like crap? I mean,
No. They do, they take down the not frame rate. They take down the resolution. They take down, particle effects and stuff. It's kind of like a PC. Like, they just upscale it for Xbox One X.
And this is multi-platform, or is this?
This is multi-platform.
So this is going to be PS4
believe, right?
Pro.
Did I throw that away?
I mean, it's a BioWare game. I can't see it. It might have some sort of exclusivity.
The thing that's curious to me is that, if this game comes out and it's on the PS4 Pro and it's on the Xbox One X, you would assume it would run and look better on the Xbox One X because it's just more powerful, right?
Yeah.
So, that to me would be, more of a reason to buy it, I guess. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, man, yeah, it looks really cool and it runs cool on PS4 Pro, but man, have you seen it on the Xbox One X?
Yeah, I'm
this
sure
just looks unbelievable to me.
I'm sure it's gonna look like the Xbox One X can run all of this, but in order to design a game like this scope, all the things that you can do with that, it can look this good, but gameplay is not going to work out like that. It's just like the Metro thing I was talking about. Metro, that's exactly how it's going to look when you're playing. It's exactly. But then there were little tiny things that were happening. I'm like, no, you're not going to be able to do that. That's not possible. Yeah. You're not going to be able to have your character, look down at something and then, oh, let's check this and then put it in. It's hard to do without the actual video in front of me, but it's not going to work out like that. And that's how I feel the same way about this, gameplay trailer. Is they're doing a Division. They're showing us things that are not going to make it to the final game. Like, this has crazy particle effects in there. For an open world game like that, that is extremely difficult to pull off that beautiful of particle effects. Now, for a vertical slice like this is, where they just take a little, slice of the game, like she can't, or she or he or whatever, can't go outside of the gameplay area. Sure. It's not loaded. So yeah, they can do all the stuff in the vertical slice. It's not possible. And I mean, maybe it's possible. I don't know. We'll see, right?
Looks like Iron Man in the Mass Effect universe.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's BioWare. Yeah. Now, you know what's funny? In the beginning, the facial animations, fantastic. Mm-hmm. They looked amazing.
So that's partly why I don't believe it. Yeah.
So then there's that. And that's E3.
So far.
We did it. We're done with E3. We don't have to talk. Oh, wait. That's right. There's so much. What have you been playing? I've been playing Pokemon Sun. It's freaking amazing. I love it. It's incredible. I highly recommend it. What about you, Tristan?
I beat Persona.
You beat Persona! Hey!
I'm free.
Oh my God! How did you feel about the ending?
I liked it. I liked the last boss. I thought it wrapped itself up well. It was, like I said, I had started getting tired of some stuff, but it kind of scooted along.
Congratulations, man. What about you, Chris?
Still playing Uncharted 4 again.
Uncharted 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit at a time.
Are you excited for the
DLC?
The DLC that's coming out?
Sure.
It's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, anything they do is awesome.
Yeah.
So.
All right. We are going to, for this week, because we are running pretty dang long. I was worried we were going to do a 2-hour episode. I was really worried that we were going to hit the 2-hour mark. We are not. We're probably going to hit an hour and a half, maybe. Because we are still going to do video game 20 questions.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I picked a game last minute because I've been working on E3 stuff all day. And these two jabronis, yes, I'm stealing that, jabronis are going to try to guess it by using yes or no questions, and I will answer yes, no, maybe, sometimes, or I don't know, or let me Google that, or
Be careful with that one.
be careful with that one. Yeah. So start.
After you.
Did it come out after January 1st of 2000?
I had to double check. No. Did not come out after January 1st, 2000.
Okay.
And I forgot the game. There it is. Now I remember. Now I remember. We're good. We're good.
Be careful with that one.
Be careful with that one. Yeah. All right. So that's one.
Is it in the Nintendo? I'm rocking. Sorry.
That's all good.
Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn genre, like time frame.
I just realized I did not write that down. I'm gonna say yes because I believe so, and I'm gonna double check.
Okay.
So continue.
Was it exclusive when it came out?
Yes.
So it's probably either a PlayStation or...
Okay, I was correct with my first yes for the generation.
So it's probably a PlayStation or N64 exclusive. Unlikely that it's a Sega Saturn exclusive. Unless it was.
Do you play as a human?
Nope.
Okay.
4 questions. It's a pretty big one.
Yeah, that is big.
You don't play as a human.
Oh my god, if you can beat... Oh, by the way, I guess I was going to send a message to you guys privately, but you know what? Why don't we just announce it now? Brian is our executive producer, is going to make a considerable charitable donation. I guess it's not a donation because he's our executive producer. If you guys, and we might do a special video for this, we might have all the Downright Fierce people participate in a special video game 20 questions where we have to guess a special game that he is in possession of that is apparently worth a lot of money.
Okay.
And he is going to sell the game, and then if we can beat his, if you can beat, because I already know the game, if you can beat his record of 13 questions, because in the third episode, Brian and Josh Novak came in and they set the record at 13 questions. If you can beat the record, then he will give 100% of the money earned, or whatever from the game to the podcast, and then after that it'll be a certain percentage.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, look forward to that coming up soon, and we can finally get you some good chairs.
Is it a PlayStation exclusive?
Yes. That's 5.
PlayStation exclusive, don't play as human.
Did it have sequels?
Yes. I believe. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it did.
Trying to think of PlayStation exclusive, not human. So you've got like Legacy of Kain. You've got I'm assuming it's 3D.
Should we try to narrow down genre?
Sure.
Go for it.
Then do it.
I mean, I'm assuming it's 3D. Is it a platformer?
Yes.
Not
Getting a
human.
lot of yeses.
3D
Yo.
platformer.
What else you got?
PlayStation exclusive.
Yup.
Is it fantasy?
What would you be?
Is this a be careful with that one?
Yeah, I mean, I define fantasy.
You define
Like a
that.
supernatural element to it, maybe?
Well, I mean, you don't.
Yeah.
Kind of. I can't answer it. I mean, I feel like I can. I feel like I can answer it. I feel like I can answer it, but then there's ways to argue and say, well, that's not really fantasy, though.
Okay.
So you know that much. Trying to think of a comparison, and I can't. I don't know. I got nothing.
Okay.
What do you got, Chris?
3D
I'm
platformer.
thinking
3D platformer.
Don't play as a human.
Don't play as a human.
Had sequels.
Had sequels, I believe.
I mean, that to me is like, I mean, the only, like, Legacy of Kain is the first thing that pops into my brain. Like, I know that was exclusive to PlayStation. I know that it had sequels. Obviously, you don't play as a human. It's a 3D platformer. I mean, I guess you would consider it. I mean,
Ask more to narrow down. I have no idea about that game.
you're a vampire. I can't. Offhand, I can't think of anything that's not that. Yeah, is there like a supernatural element to the game?
Yeah, but be careful with that one. I can't do another. I can't answer this, so I'm gonna say yeah, but be careful with that one. Be very careful. I mean, I can't just. I mean, yes, yeah, definitely, but be careful. It is supernatural.
That's so helpful.
It's like so normal. It's supernatural. All right, come on. We're 8 questions in.
I'm
Now, if anybody who's watching wants to ask this question, ask it in chat. And if it's really good and if it helps them out, then I will pluck that from chat and place it in their ears with my mouth.
So what are some where you're playing as like animals? Which I just can't. Oddworld, maybe. But that wasn't.
When did is Jack and Daxter? Did that come out in that era, or was that
Ratchet and Clank was PS2.
Yeah.
I think those were PS2.
Yeah.
PS1.
You guys are gonna kick yourself for this. I mean, just anything about, I don't know. Because, I mean, you've narrowed down a lot. I'm trying to think of things you haven't narrowed down. Damn. Setting, maybe? I mean, there's also a bunch of questions you can ask that are a little bit, goofy. No, not even. I don't know. Good luck with this one.
Is there combat? Do you actually fight stuff, or is it strictly? I guess that's a multi-tiered question.
No. I like that question. There is combat in it. Yes, okay. There is combat, and I know what you mean. Is it just you're just platforming, or are you fighting stuff? Yeah, there's combat.
Was it based off of? I mean, I don't know how to word it. When Die Hard was the answer.
Yeah.
At one time, it was is it based off of a franchise?
No.
Okay.
That was a good question though. That's 10. You guys are at 10.
So okay, I just my knowledge of non-human platforming PlayStation games is not that.
Oh, you can't just name them all off the top of your head.
It's not that vast.
That's crazy. How's that? I mean, everybody can do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
my mom can do that.
You're making me dig deep on that one.
I need you to dig deep inside of yourself and pull it out.
Do you only play as one character?
Yes.
Was MDK? I'm just trying to think of that was PS2, I think. MDK.
All right, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm lost.
I mean, just ask general video game questions, I'd say. I think it'll help you narrow it down if you just ask, if you just know a whole bunch of stuff about it, yeah, just in general.
Are they still making games today based off this franchise?
There you go. So that's tricky. That was the trick of because every game, usually there's some kind of tricky part of that. I'm going to answer that very specifically. I'm going to say that there is a game that has been... Oh, you already got it, don't you?
I think I got it.
Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna say yes, and I'm gonna see where you go with this.
Is your character shirtless?
Yes, but be careful. I don't know where you're going with
I feel
that.
like it might be like Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, so let me let you do your thing.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, let me. I'll finish the explanation. So there was a game that came out somewhat recently that borrowed from this franchise that has taken a character from this franchise. So when you ask if there are games made recently,
So like
with this
PlayStation
franchise,
All Stars.
yeah, exactly, like stuff like that.
Never mind then. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Uncharted 4, you played Crash Bandicoot. You know, I mean that's as close as I could get. I mean,
By the way, you didn't beat the.
I know we didn't.
Yeah.
I know. I'm watching.
Okay.
It's annoying. I mean, that's really as good as I guess
That's
as
the
any.
extent of what I know. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I
Not true. So not true. You know, I've been getting pretty. With the exception of Zone of Enders, I've been pretty good with these games. It is game.
Is there anything in the
games
chat that can help us?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, that means they don't know either.
But you've heard of this game. You've definitely heard of this game. I mean, you're kind of on a roll with the the goofy questions and the just general gameplay questions. That was actually a pretty big one. Has this franchise been used in games lately? I mean, don't focus on that though. I'd say,
I mean, I'm just trying to think of like big Sony IPs that were Sony exclusive on the PlayStation.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna help you out a little bit, just a tiny bit. You fight. How do you fight? Oh crap! I don't remember how you fight. Never mind. Don't ask that. Don't ask that. Forget that question. Don't do it.
Okay.
I mean, if you need to, go for it. I'll just look it up. But
I
what do we got?
Nothing, man.
You got nothing?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't. If it's not Crash Bandicoot, it's not Legacy of Kain.
Maybe try to figure out who your character is. How about that?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Yeah.
But how would you narrow that down?
You're not a human. Are you an animal? Jesus.
That's so
Kind of.
kind.
Kind of. Yes, but kind of. But be careful.
So like, meaning like you're an animal, but technically like you're a fish. So you're not really like, or
Fish are animals.
I know, but but I meant like don't think of it like land animals or
actually. Well, no. I had somebody the other day during trivia try to go, "Hey, the categories, animals. You can't talk about spiders." I'm like, "Spider's an animal."
Yeah,
He goes, "No, it's not." I'm like, "You want to be careful there."
I meant more specific. I didn't.
I got you.
I didn't mean
No,
like
I know.
I know
what you mean.
Fish is an animal.
I know you're smart. You're my smart bear.
Kind of an animal.
I mean, yeah, it's an animal, but be careful.
Can you clarify that at all?
I can't without giving anything away.
I mean,
yes, it's an animal,
what about...
but kind of. But be careful with that.
Okay.
And literally anything I say will completely give it away. Like, you were that close with it that anything I could possibly say will give it away. Give it away now.
Do you steal stuff?
Oh, I know what you're thinking of. No, you don't. See, for that, I would say yes, you are an animal. Because
Okay.
you're a Cooper or whatever.
You're a raccoon.
A raccoon, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, even though, yeah, it's a personified... Not personified is not the right word. What's the word?
Anthropomorphized.
Yeah, that's it. Anthropomorphized raccoon. I would still say, yes, you're an animal. You are a raccoon.
Okay.
Like, if it was conquer, I'd say, yeah, you are a conquer. A squirrel. A squirrel.
I have no idea. I'm literally
You're
have no idea.
15. You're 15.
Literally have no idea.
Just burn through the questions so we can end this.
I mean, you're kind of an animal.
Kind of an animal.
Kind of
I mean, you
fantasy.
are an animal. You are an animal. You're an animal. Kind of.
Has the game always been Sony exclusive?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. Because I don't think... Maybe? Maybe. I'll give you a maybe and I won't count it down.
Do you eliminate enemies by jumping on their heads?
Damn it. I forgot, man. I forgot. Don't make me look it up. Just focus on the character. Focus on the character.
I'm trying. Like, I really am. Like, I don't know.
We got nothing. I mean, just trying to think of...
Are you like a good guy or a bad guy? Like, are you like a hero or a villain?
You want to pick one?
Yes.
Are you a hero?
Yes.
You're a hero type character.
Okay.
That's not a human. That's kind of an animal.
That is an animal.
It's kind of in a fantasy world.
Kind of in a fantasy world. PlayStation.
Recently been used.
Platform. Or recently been used. Somewhat recently.
You don't steal stuff.
You don't steal. No. Stealing's bad. I'm amazed that chat's not getting this.
It's really easy when you know the answer.
It is. It is. But again, like, I don't know. I feel like this would be the first. I honestly thought you were gonna get it at 5 questions. I thought you were gonna get it at 5 questions. I thought you were right there on it.
Can your character talk?
Yes, I believe so. Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Wait, 17?
Don't look at the questions.
I mean,
I feel like this is just like last week with
did
Dead
they make
Island.
a movie based on this character?
No.
Yeah.
That is 18. Uh-oh.
Do other characters in the world like your character?
I'd say it's a 50-50.
I don't know where I'm going with that.
That's 19. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna help you. I don't care if this ruins the integrity because you have one question left. When I said it's kind of an animal, and I couldn't explain that, what would make it so I can't say whether or not it's an animal? What would make it unsure if I can say if it's an animal? But then I say, yeah, it's an animal.
You don't know if it's
You don't know what
living
kind of
or
animal it is?
dead? Living or robotic?
I don't. It's not necessarily.
It might be a plant.
It's not necessarily.
Its name is an animal? I don't...
It's not necessarily a
Mammal
real animal.
that exists in reality.
There it is.
That doesn't get me any closer at all.
Oh, that really should. Oh, that really should. So a not real animal platformer. So Sony. Yeah, there it is. You got it, didn't you? You got it.
Is your character purple?
Yep. What is it?
It's Spyro.
It's Spyro, the dragon. He's a dragon.
That's fantasy. Dragon.
I don't know what that is.
But the world is not fantasy.
I never played Spyro the Dragon.
That's why I was like, I mean, it is, but it's not like, because I would say fantasy would be like elves and kingdoms and stuff.
That's
and
high
there's
fantasy.
kingdom. Yeah, so it's.
I didn't say high
You've
fantasy.
never
played
Spyro?
No.
You're familiar with it though, right?
I thought it was a Super Nintendo game. Like, that crossed my mind, and I was like, no, that's like a Super Nintendo game.
What?
Yeah.
But you've played.
I have no idea.
A bit, but
You both are familiar with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so guess who made that game? Insomniac.
Kojima.
It was made by Insomniac, 1998, Sony exclusive, single player. That's it. That's it, guys. That's it. Spyro breathes fire. Well, you know.
That was a bad question.
Hey, you know what? Next week.
Do better next time.
Are you going to be on next week?
I don't know.
All right. Well, if you are, you're doing 20 questions.
Okay.
And I'm going to crush the high score. I'm definitely going to crush 20.
You never heard of Power Stone.
I've never heard of Power Stone. It's
That was
one
crazy.
game.
Crazy.
You've never heard of these nuts. Okay, so anyways, that's it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You can watch every week on Facebook.com/DownrightFearsGaming. We release new episodes on iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, and Stitcher. Make sure to, rate us like 5s and stuff. Give us some good ratings because that helps us out a lot. It also helps us is Patreon. Patreon.com/downrightfierce. You can give us a couple bucks a month and we will give you exclusive content for 1 week, and then it goes out to everybody else. We've got some really good stuff coming up, including this is another thing I didn't tell you guys about. Brian's first time. Our executive producer Brian Kaminsky is going to we're going to put him in front of a bunch of games that are extremely difficult since he doesn't know anything about games. He's never heard of Bloodborne. He's never played For Honor, which is another game I've been playing and I freaking rock at. And I'm just going to throw him in these worlds, and it's going to be really funny watching him freak out. Cool. It's going to be called Brian's First Time. So yeah, you get that content a week early, and then it goes out to everybody else. Also, you get a thank you at the end of the episode. So we want to thank Mark Mayfield.
Thanks, Mark
Mayfield. Jeff Knight. Thank you, Jeff Knight, which I don't know if you know that he named me his best man. It's the best, man. I can't accept. I'm actually going to give it to Chris.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to give it to Chris. I'm going to let him be your best man.
I don't think he knows your first name, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think he does. He thinks your last name is a Harry Potter spell.
Oh. Asensio.
Yeah.
Anyways, so thank you, Jeff Knight. Not for that, but for the Patreon stuff. Also, we want to thank Brian Altano for letting us use his music, even though he doesn't listen, and Damon Hatfield for letting us use his music, even though he doesn't listen. Also, we want to thank our executive producers, Brian Kaminsky and Andrew Kirkendall. Face kicker. Finally, you can find us on Twitter at DRF Podcast, twitch.tv/DRF Podcast, which I'm actually doing a lot of stuff with now. I've been streaming more lately. Been getting back into that. That's been a lot of fun. Also, last thing, make sure you check out our YouTube page. We don't have a URL yet because we only have like 19 subscribers. But if you go and subscribe, then eventually we can. And then I could be like, hey, follow us on youtube.com/DownrightFierceGaming. But for now, you have to just search Downright Fierce Gaming. And we make weekly videos with, it's called DRF Talks to Strangers, where we just go on Omegle and we talk to random strangers. We met one last week that is going to write an erotic fan fiction story about us. I'm so excited. You don't even know. Anyways, you can see that whole us talking with him on our Mega videos. And that does it, guys. We're all... Oh, no, that doesn't. Merchandise. You want to buy a shirt? Well, you should. You should go over to teespring.com/DownrightFierceGaming. You can buy a shirt. And again, it goes to buying better chairs for them. That's it. Now we're done. Go out and make babies.